My character Blocker is as tough as they come and has been knows the terrain so bloody well and has to deal with probably what an awful lot of military personnel have to deal with, which is that he has to take orders from an idiot just because he outranks him. But Blocker really knows his men, knows the terrain very well. But we meet him when Blocker has had enough and he's leaving. And he gets given this very uncomfortable mission to transport a man, a Yellowhawk, a Cheyenne chief, who is probably the man that Blocker hates more than anybody else on the planet. He is responsible for having killed many of Blocker's soldiers, his men, his friends, and now he has to transport this man to a burial ground because of Washington DC wanting to get some good PR and press, and so he's suddenly finding himself having to play this political game, and he's not a political animal in the slightest. The Quaid family are settlers who've come for a better life. And we come across this horrendous scene where the family has been very brutally murdered, and we find the character of Rosalie sitting in the midst of a burnt-out house, clutching her child. And surrounded by her other children. You know, it's a devastating, tragic sight to see, and something that Blocker and his men then have to become responsible for in her well-being. Scott is really, he's cast it so bloody well. There's some really bloody good actors on this, and I've enjoyed so much getting stuck into the scenes with them. Everybody's so different, nobody disappointing at all. Really great, very satisfying. I like working with Scott. I really I like his films a great deal. I like working with him. It's satisfying. He seems to like what I do, but as I was explaining before, the thing that I like about it is it's all character driven for him. He's very uncompromising as well, in a very good way, and I like our relationship, our working relationship, in that he'll just let me kind of go at it and go off and find, you know, roads that I'm going down, and then previous to filming, and then I'll sort of check in with him and tell him, well, this and that, and he'll, you know, either like it, that's great, you know, let's keep going down that road, or Christian, I feel like you're going off on a tangent a little bit there, bring it round this way a little bit more. Instead of thinking about the continued conversation of film westerns, we're really trying to think about what might it really have been like, you know, not the impressions that we get from so many wonderful films, really fantastic films, but we're not going to do them any better, right? They've been done so bloody well already. So for me, there's a horror element to this. I think there's a horror element that at least I find it so. I think there's this kind of imprisonment that certainly I can say my character's feeling, and at the same time, like the absolute beauty of this landscape and of America, but how it can be absolutely horrific at the same time when you've had so many friends die for this land. For me also, it's about just people with absolute rock solid conviction in the righteousness of what they're doing, suddenly having everything pulled out from under them, and all those convictions being questioned and shaking them to their core. And especially when you're dealing with a character like Blocker, who's been a leader, who has led other people, based on his very strong beliefs. And how do you then turn around and admit to people that you're questioning these beliefs that have actually caused the death of other men who he's led, into war.
Captain, you do know Chief Yellow Hawk.
伝説の陸軍隊員。彼の任務はかつての宿敵を護衛し、故郷に無事連れ帰ること。そして旅の途中で出会った家族を殺された未亡人。
You believe in the Lord, Joseph?
Yes, I do. But he's been blind to what's going on out here for a long time.
それぞれの目的を果たすため、命がけの旅に出る。
When we lay our heads down out here, we're all prisoners.
Seeing
all the things you've seen and all the things you've done makes you feel inhuman after a while.
I've killed savages because that's my job.
Something
tells me you ain't got the nerve to fire that woman.